In the world of fiction, Wade Wilson is a name synonymous with chaos, dark humor, and an unstoppable force. A mercenary, an anti-hero, a character known for breaking the fourth wall, always with a smirk behind the mask. But sometimes, reality can be far more disturbing than any comic book. Because in October 2019, in the quiet suburbs of Cape Coral, Florida, the name Wade Wilson suddenly became attached to something far darker. Not a hero, not an anti-hero, but a cold-blooded killer. A man whose actions would send shivers down the spine of an entire community, and whose shared name with a comic icon would earn him a chilling moniker, the Deadpool Killer. Our story begins on the night of October 7th, 2019. Kristine Melton, a 35-year-old woman, was enjoying a night out at a local bar. She was simply looking for connection. That night, she met Wade Steven Wilson. What transpired between them after they left the bar remains unclear, but the outcome was horrifyingly conclusive. Back at her home, Kristine Melton was murdered. She was strangled to death, reportedly while she slept, marking the chilling start of a cross-county crime spree. Wilson's rampage was far from over. After killing Kristine Melton and stealing her car, he was still driving the dark streets of Cape Coral. Hours later, he encountered his second victim, Diane Ruiz. Diane, a 43-year-old mother of two, was simply walking home from her bartending job. Wilson pulled over, asked her for directions, and lured her into the stolen car. As she tried to get out, he attacked. She was beaten, then strangled. But the horror did not end there. Wilson threw Diane Ruiz's body from the vehicle. Then, in an act of calculated and grotesque cruelty, he drove the stolen car over her body multiple times. Later, in his own chilling confession to authorities, he would state his motive for this specific, horrific act. He said he did it to make her look like spaghetti. That single, callous quote perfectly crystallized the profound lack of humanity in his actions. It was a final, cold act of violence that led directly to his capture. Wilson made a phone call to his own father and confessed to the murders. His father and stepmother immediately contacted the police. The chaotic, short-lived, double murder spree of Wade Steven Wilson was over. He was apprehended the following day. What transpired in the interrogation room was perhaps even more disturbing than the crimes themselves. Wilson displayed a chilling, almost clinical, lack of remorse. His demeanor was detached, calm, as if discussing mundane events. When detectives asked him if he would be willing to commit murder again, he responded without hesitation, "I would do it again." His defense would later argue that Wilson suffered from brain damage due to multiple head injuries and was impaired by drug abuse. But the prosecution dismissed this, arguing that the killer's cold detachment revealed a premeditated and evil intent, that this was a case of killing for the sake of the killing. The media immediately latched onto the case, driven by the bizarre coincidence of the killer's name. Wade Wilson, the name of Marvel's Merc with a mouth. The nickname, the Deadpool Killer, became a viral shorthand for a brutal reality. This sensational angle amplified the horror. It forced the world to contrast the fictional, wisecracking antihero with a real man who had a history of violence and was responsible for the savage murders of two innocent women. The trial culminated in 2024. The jury heard the details of the crime, the lack of mercy, and the sheer brutality involved. The evidence of the heinous nature of his crimes was overwhelming. In August 2024, Circuit Judge Nicholas Thompson imposed 2 death sentences. The judge noted that the aggravating factors, the heinous, atrocious, and cruel nature of the murders, greatly outweighed the mitigating circumstances. The story of the Real Wade Wilson is a grim reminder of where the line between fiction and reality can blur. The name might conjure images of an immortal comic book character, but the truth is a cold, hard fact. Kristine Melton and Diane Ruiz were 2 real women whose lives were brutally and senselessly stolen by a man who showed no remorse. The only true horror here is the darkness that existed beneath the surface of a quiet Florida town. Kristine Melton, Diane Ruiz. Remember their names.